Hello! Today I'm excited to do a reading with you. It is called The Wolf Cat, and it is written by Kyle Belmont and illustrated by Agnieszka. The story is about a young cat who has to overcome his bullies at school. It is a Halloween-themed book, and it is a great message for young kids. The story was dedicated to these three girls, Taylor, Demi, and Sydney, by their father. I really hope you enjoy.
Don't forget to look for the mouse in each page.
Leo was the smallest cat in his family. He was the smallest cat in his grade. He was, in fact, the smallest cat in the entire school. Leo may have been small, but he was brave and smart. He knew the answer to almost every question his teacher, Miss Hairball, asked. Miss Hairball said, "Bravo!" and "Great job, Leo," when he would get the answers right. This made a few of Leo's classmates jealous, especially Harley, Marley, and Farley. They did not like Leo being able to answer questions they could not. Harley, Marley, and Farley picked on Leo by calling him names or laughing at him when he couldn't reach the top of his locker, or worse of all, sneaking up behind Leo and scaring him. Leo wasn't the only cat they picked on. Half of Leo's school was afraid of Harley, Marley, and Farley. Other cats were teased because of the clothes they wore, the color of their hair, or anything else that made them different from their classmates. Leo talked to his teacher about Harley, Marley, and Farley. Miss Hairball repeatedly asked the mean cats to be nicer to their classmates, but they just wouldn't listen. One day, Miss Hairball finally said, "You three may think it's fun to pick on and scare others, but someday you might learn how it feels to be scared, and I bet you won't like it one bit." The day before Halloween, Leo's class had a party. The cats dressed up in their costumes and decorated the classroom. Everyone brought in treats to share, and Leo handed out his favorite sour candy. Even though Harley, Marley, and Farley laughed at his spider costume, he shared with them. After school, Leo was walking home with his friends when Harley, Marley, and Farley stepped out from behind an old gnarled tree and surrounded them. The mean cats made Leo and his friends hand over all their candy from the party. Then the mean cats ran away laughing. "That's it," Leo said to his friends, who looked at him with tears in their eyes. "I'm sick and tired of being picked on by those three. I'm even more tired of watching them pick on others. It's time to teach those bullies a lesson once and for all." The rest of the way home, Leo thought about a plan. "I need to show those bullies what it feels like to be scared for a change. Not a little scared either," he thought. "What are cats most afraid of? I know, dogs. What was the scariest dog of all?" Leo remembered Miss Hairball said dogs descended from wolves. "That's it! And since it's Halloween tomorrow, I'm going to have a little extra surprise for those bullies," Leo thought. He smiled as the plan formed in his mind. Leo spent the rest of the night working on his plan. He would make a spooky costume with claws, big yellow eyes, and best of all, huge, sharp fangs. The next day at school, Leo listened eagerly as Harley, Marley, and Farley talked about the route they would take trick-or-treating that night. They decided to save the mysterious old house at the edge of the neighborhood for their final stop. The mean cats talked about hiding at the house and scaring any trick-or-treaters that walked by. As he eavesdropped, Leo put the finishing touches on his plan. That evening, Leo waited until the sky darkened before leaving his house. He ran to the mysterious house at the edge of the neighborhood, staying in the shadows as he went. Once Leo arrived, he propped up a large flashlight facing the house and hid behind a tree. Soon, Leo heard Harley, Marley, and Farley's voices as they walked toward the old house. They were bragging about how many cats they had terrified and how much candy they had stolen. Leo, still hiding, took a deep breath, and let out a long, eerie howl. The three mean cats stopped in their tracks and listened intently. The hair on their backs stood up. "What was that?" Marley asked Harley and Farley nervously. Hopefully it was an owl," suggested Harley. "Owls don't sound like—" But Farley was cut off by another long howl. Just then, Leo stepped in front of the flashlight, wearing his spooky costume. On the house behind him, a huge shadow was projected. The three mean cats gasped as they saw the outline of a wolf. No, they realized in terror as the shadow stood up on two legs. Not a wolf, but a werewolf. Harley, Marley, and Farley stood frozen in fear as the werewolf lifted its head and moved it side to side, sniffing the air. The werewolf turned toward them, let out a roar, and ran in their direction. The three mean cats dropped their bags of candy and ran away, whimpering as they went. Leo chased them all the way down the block as the other trick-or-treaters pointed and laughed. After the chase, Leo walked back to the old house. His friends gathered around him, high-fiving each other. Leo showed off his costume and how he'd used the flashlight to make a giant shadow on the house. Leo's friends cheered as he picked up Harley, Marley, and Farley's candy bags, and they each took back the treats the bullies had stolen from them the day before. After that Halloween night, Leo and the rest of the school didn't have to worry about being picked on anymore. Harley, Marley, and Farley finally learned what it felt like to be scared, and they learned one other thing. They never wanted to see a werewolf again. The end.
You can also get the wolf cat on Amazon.